Hi, Rachel. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. I don't know, Rachel, how's the week gone for you? See,
I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday was rough. How about? But I'm feeling better for today.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like I was in a mad rush, from Friday to Monday, and then I just drove into the sand.
Mm.
Yeah. So it feels like my days are just slow motion.
I'm the exact opposite of
But
that.
that's good. Okay. But I had a little extra time, and so I finished my lifestyle medicine.
Oh yes, give us a
Yeah,
give us an update.
yeah, some highlights from that. So, well, first of all, there's a lot of overlap between what I learned from the American Board of Obesity Medicine and then American College of Lifestyle Medicine. So, happily, there's a lot of overlap and agreement about pillars of lifestyle, nutrition being, number one, movement, number two, sleep. Oh, I love the reminders and the reinforcement and how sleep is so crucial and how it affects physiology. It was really good. And then stress management. And of course, then they really brought in, I think I said this before, the coaching component is key, essential part of all of this because change is hard, Rachel. I don't know if you know.
Yes. Change is really hard. And, it's interesting. I was on a webinar earlier and they were talking about change. And they said most people aren't actually looking for change, which, we were joking as coaches, we were kind of joking that as a coach, I have to sell quality of life and health and energy and weight loss. That's what people are looking for. But on the back end, what I know I'm delivering is change, growth, and transformation. But nobody really wants these things.
Right. Those are those terms that's pretty elusive. It's hard to define. It's, like,
Worry.
okay, what does that mean? Or what does that look like? Yeah. And so I can hear my daughter and my nieces are coming for a visit for lunch. I can hear the dogs greeting them. Yeah. So, but Rachel, so yeah, and how essential it is for the healthcare provider to have an attitude of moving people toward change talk, and then also to have this multidisciplinary team, including the coach, who comes at change in a very positive way and so different than the practitioner who says, here's the prescription, see ya in a couple of months. No, the coach is like, okay, let's talk. Where are you? Tell me where you are. Let's learn. Let's learn about you. And yeah, so I mean, it's just a good team approach. So it was great. Of course, they talked a lot about the different processing of food. And I think that's kind of where we left off last time. So let's pick up right there and maybe give a recap. And Rachel, I'm going to ask you, or maybe between the two of us, let's introduce this idea of culinary processing.
Love it. Yes. Yeah, great. So let's pick up from last week. And the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about ultra processed food, or just the category of food. Okay, I'm going to keep talking. You're doing something. And so last week, we kind of gave some definitions and tried to break that down. In the link in the show notes today, I do have a link of the NOVA classification for further reading. And the website I found is from Harvard Chan School of Health, T-Chan School of Health. Anyway, one of their websites, and it's a great website because I think it breaks it down in simple enough terms. It categorizes, I think, the 4 NOVA classifications and gives examples of that and kind of approaches it. I think the more that we're educated and understand and speak this language, the more savvy and confident you will feel in the grocery store. So it doesn't take a lot to really understand this. So I'm gonna give you the definitions and kind of briefly go through them again. First category is unprocessed or minimally processed foods. So this, like we talked about last week, is natural, edible foods. Maybe you've cleaned and removed the unedible or unwanted parts. Maybe you've ground the food, refrigerated, pasteurized, fermented, froze, vacuum packed. You've made the food more safe to eat. So this is like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, meat, yogurt, without added sugar, dried pastas, coffee, tea. These all fall in this category, unprocessed or very minimally processed. Then we get into something they call processed culinary ingredients, which I love this term because it puts some things into context. This is all the ingredients that you have in a kitchen to prepare and season foods. Yeah, minimally processed foods. Things have been pressed, refined, ground, milled. This can be oils from plants. This can be seeds and nuts. This can be vinegar made from acetic fermentation of wine. So we see how vinegar has been processed out of wine. But again, it falls under a less processed category. Honey has been extracted from a comb. Syrup, from a tree. And we use these things, and most people have these ingredients in their homes and can purchase them. And it's part of putting foods together.
Right. I just did this earlier today by making this beautiful marinara sauce. So I had celery, carrots, onion, tomato, all washed and chopped, and I had canned the tomato earlier, and then I put dried herbs in there, and then I had olive oil, and then I sauteed a little garlic in. So I had all these in my kitchen ready to go that were already minimally processed, and then I put them together, and hopefully it's in a delicious,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we're using a little bit of very minimally processed foods and then some culinary processed foods. And then there's this category of processed food. And I think that this is probably what confuses people the most. Ultra processed food, I think people understand potato chips, French fries, cookies. I think most people hopefully understand those are ultra processed foods. But this processed category, what does this mean? Is it good? Is it bad? So the NOVA classification describes this as the processing increases the durability of foods and also enhances flavor and texture. So the food that you're processing has come from one of the other two categories. So perhaps it's still a whole real food, like they use sardines, for example. Okay. So that's a real food that came from the natural whole real food category, but then they're adding salt or fat and canning it. And now you have canned sardines. These can last for a long time. The salt is going to preserve. The oil perhaps is for flavor. And this is a processed food, not ultra processed,
right?
But no longer whole and real and just fresh out of the ocean.
Right. Yes. Gotcha.
Yeah. So when people come to you and say, Dr. Gilbert, can I eat sardines? Can I eat canned something or another? How do you help them understand the differences?
Right. Well, I think starting with maybe does it look whole and real, and then maybe look at that ingredient label. Yeah. So read the ingredient label and ignore all the stamps of approval and the packaging on the front. That's marketing.
Right.
Yeah. Turn that baby over and look at the ingredient label. And, we have spoken before, like 5 or less ingredients, but as long as you know them, and like you said, if it's something you have in your kitchen, then it's, it probably passes the sniff test.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If these sardines have maybe some olive oil and some salt, probably going in my thumbs up category.
Mhm.
If it's added sugar and then some weird, strange chemical or other kind of oils, then I might be thinking, this looks like they've done even more stuff to it.
Mhm.
I can process a sardine in my kitchen with olive and salt,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of my, can I do this on my own? Could I make this?
Yeah.
If I can make
Mhm.
it, probably going to be better than. Um,
Mhm.
I had a client the other day ask a question about, she was asking me about foods and comparing. And in coaching, this is one of the questions we ask a lot is, this instead of what? What is
Uh,
this food replacing?
yeah.
If suddenly you're eating canned sardines only and you stop eating the whole real sardine, was that a better
Mhm.
swap and for
Mhm.
what purpose?
Right.
This means you're eating more fish and you never ate any fish.
Mm.
This is a win,
Better.
going in
Yeah.
the right direction.
Good. I like that. Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
what are you replacing? For what
Mhm.
purpose? What
Mhm.
calories or what part of your dietary overall pattern is it replacing? Is it replacing French fries? Big win, right? So, which direction are you moving in?
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, are you moving more processed or less processed? And I understand that, we are busy people and we don't always have time to, get in the kitchen and put things together. Although, when we plan ahead, it really doesn't take a whole heck of a lot of time to put a meal together. It doesn't always have to be gourmet. So, all right, with all those things said, sometimes I'm just going to get that thing from Costco that has whole real ingredients that I know I just have to warm up on the stove top and call her good. Yeah. Mhm.
Yes. Yes,
Quick.
I eat a
Yeah.
lot of canned foods. I eat most of my beans and lentils are canned. Um, that's, I when I can, I have time, I will make a big batch in my Instant Pot and then freeze it into portions. But these can be excellent examples of quick and ready to go. I can make cooked lentils or I can buy them canned. When I
Mhm.
make them, I'm saving
Mm.
a whole lot of money. And then I can also cook them with, veggie broth and some flavors that really enhance it. But I'm frequently going to ask myself, is this better than what I would be doing otherwise? And if this is getting me to eat something whole and real tonight, fast and
Right.
quick, and it's saving me from ordering out or something, this is always a win. This is moving you in the right direction.
Mm. Mm. Right. Yeah. There's a couple of things that we do have to be careful about on ingredient label. And one of them is this thing called natural flavors.
Tell us
Natural
more.
flavors. So I can read that. I know what that is. But you know what? I don't have a can of natural flavors in my pantry. Uh-oh.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. Are we up to speed now?
I can hear
Sorry.
you.
Oh, bummer. Okay. Okay, great. So yeah, so this thing called natural flavors. Sometimes we skip over that because we can read that. We don't maybe not know what it is, but that's not something in our pantry. I don't go for my little shaker of natural flavors. So I tend to avoid prepared foods that have that natural flavors in
Mhm.
there. I
Yeah.
just don't know what that is. Mhm.
It's a tough one
So,
because it could be
yeah.
truly something
So,
natural.
all right. Well, we're coming to the end of our.
That's all right. We have some problems here.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we're having some problems. Anyway, maybe it's a good time to bring this today to a close because I've got some hungry girls in. So, and I just made a pot of marinara sauce with all kinds. And anyway, having a hard time, but maybe that's the sign to go have lunch.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. All right. Bye bye.